Hello and welcome to this banger of a video. I start all my fucking videos off like this. You already know. Anyways, today is gonna be multiple stories because I just decided that none of these are long enough on their own to be their own separate story. So I just combined all of them because, why the fuck not? And also they're pretty kind of funny. Pretty kind of funny. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, let's get right into this. So the first story out of this is the first time I ever seen porn, which is crazy. Also, you shouldn't watch porn, but that's besides the point. So I walked into my homie S's place. Now, S is a new character. You guys have never heard of this because this dude was from when I was just a wee little jit. I was just a little kid. And I used to hang out with my friend S. And my friend S, he has two parents. Well, obviously, we all have fucking two parents. He has two parents and they split. And so his dad lived on one side of the town and his mom lived on the other, kind of. They lived kind of close, but whatever. Anyways, S always stayed with his dad, and his dad was either always gone or he was just upstairs minding his own business. He didn't come downstairs ever, really, unless he was maybe doing laundry. That's the only thing that I could think of that he came down for. Anyways, this particular time, I came to S's house and I was like, yo, what's up, man? And when I walked up to him, his desk was set up in a way that as you walked into his room, you would see the back of his monitors and you would see his face. You wouldn't see what's on the monitors. So I assumed, hey, there's nothing on the monitors. So I walked up and walked behind him. And there was still nothing on the monitors. He had nothing on. It was just his wallpaper. And I was like, okay, so what are we going to do? And so he's like, we could watch some YouTube. So this guy opens up the browser. And we're just hit with titties and vagina everywhere, all over the screen. And this was my first time ever seeing this shit, so I was like in awe. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I've never seen anybody like this before. And so I like asked him, I was like, yo, what is that, bro? And he's like, oh, this is just porn. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, basically just people having sex on camera. And I was like, interesting. And yeah, so then this is not the end of this. You thought that was the end, nah. Then he's like, here, I'll show you. This guy clicks on the first video that comes up. I don't even really remember what it was. It was probably just some BBC type shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, he clicks on a video and I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm low-key mesmerized, but also low-key like kind of disgusted. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I feel like I shouldn't be watching this. And so then after that, he shut that shit off and then we started watching YouTube. But after that day, yo, I was not the same person. I was not the same motherfucker. Anyways, let's move on to the next story because that one wasn't that long or that freaky. Well, no, it was that freaky. What am I saying? It wasn't that long or that funny. That's what I meant to say. Anyways, next story. So I come back to S's house again, just another day, and I had known that he had been vaping for a long time. He has been vaping since like fucking probably 12 years old if I'm keeping it real. Anyways, I always said, nah, I don't want none. I won't try none, right? And he wouldn't really ever hit it around me anyways. And so I never really had the opportunity to like, yo, let me get some or like anything like that. And he never really offered it to me. But this particular day, me and him are playing War Thunder. That was the game that we used to play a lot. We used to play War Thunder and Fortnite a lot. Those were the two funnest games that we had. Anyways, me and him are playing together, and he looks back at me, and he's hitting his shit, and I'm like kind of looking at it, and I think he noticed that I was staring at him taking hits, so he's like showing me tricks and shit, and then he's like, "You want to try it?" And I'm like, "Shit." And by the way, this was a Juul, so I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that, but yeah, it was a fucking Juul, and I took that shit out of his hand, and I was like, "Yeah, let me get a rip." And so I didn't really know what I was doing, so I just like puffed it in my cheeks, and he's like, no, you need to breathe it into your lungs. That's how you get the feeling. So I'm like, shit, all right, say less. So I'm like, okay. So I took a fat hit. I don't know if it was a fat hit. Nowadays I know that it was kind of a fat hit. I don't know. Thinking back to it, it wasn't that big, but I mean, it was my first time vaping. So anyways, I took what I thought was a fat hit, coughed the fuck out of my lungs, dude. Like, my lungs were done for. I was coughing for probably like 20, 30 minutes, and my throat was burning like a bitch, right? And so I'm telling him this. I'm like, how the fuck do you do this all day, man? Like, this hurts like a bitch, right? And so he's like, nah, dude, you just got to keep doing it, and then you just get used to it. And I'm like, okay. So I'm taking little puffs now, little puffs, little, and they're slowly increasing. And I didn't know that it was supposed to give you a buzz. He never mentioned that. He just said that it was, I thought you just vape for tricks, pretty much. That's what my whole brain process was. So I'm just having fun, just, just taking little puffs. And then eventually that nicotine hit me like a fucking truck. That shit knocked me right on my ass. I'm sitting on his bed and I start fucking getting real dizzy and I'm like spinning in circles, and he noticed and he's like, all right, maybe that's enough for you. So he snatches that shit out of my hand and I'm tweaking, bro. I'm tweaking, right? And I'm like fucking spinning in a circle. I already said that. So I had to lay my bitch ass down, and I'm laying down and it feels like the whole world is spinning, and he's like, yo, I think you might be sick, bro. And I'm like, I'm not nauseous, but I'm like spinning like a motherfucker. And so I'm like, yo, just give me like a few minutes, bro. I just need a second. Like, what the fuck? Why am I like spinning? And so then now he decides to explain the fucking nicotine and what it does. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me this before? You could have warned me so I didn't overdo it. And yeah, that's how I hit the first vape I ever hit, and I got Nick sick first time. That shit was not worth it. I could also, another little side story, first time ripping a Zyn, same shit happened to me. I put that shit on my lip, got immediately Nick sick, and then I just felt like shit all day. I don't know if I've told that story before, but anyways, we can move on to the next story, which is kind of fucking weird. So I already mentioned my friend S. You guys know my friend S, because I mentioned him at the start of the video. No shit. Anyways, he has an older brother. His older brother's, I think, 2 or 3 years older than him. But me and his older brother were pretty chill. He would let me play on his Xbox. And the way that their basement was set up, it was very open. Like, S's room was right there, and then S's brother's room was like just on the other side of the room, basically. But it was around a corner, so they couldn't see each other. They still had some privacy, but like they could like talk to each other, in each other's beds if they wanted to. Pause. Anyways, I don't know why I said pause. Anyways, so one day I came to his house and I'm hanging out with S pretty much all day. And so S and S's brother, they say that they're going to a party, but I am more than free to stay here and wait for them and play on S's brother's Xbox. And they had a ginormous TV. I think it was like an 85-inch TV, something crazy. And so obviously I'm taking that opportunity to play games for hours. And so I'm playing games for hours. I'm playing Fortnite. I'm playing Call of Duty. I think that was when Warzone had just dropped, or maybe before that. Anyways, I'm playing Call of Duty and I'm having a great time. I'm playing the fuck out of all these games. Anyways, S and his brother finally get back from their party, wherever the hell they are at. Wherever they were at. I don't know where they were at. I think they were at a party, something like that. Anyways, S comes back, and then he says that he's taking off again, but he's just grabbing something. And S's brother comes back with a lady friend. Now, the lady friend is actually his wife now, which is good. That's good. But at this moment, I had never met this girl in my entire life, right? So S says, what's up? And then he's like, all right, peace out. I'll see you later. You can hang out with my brother. And I was like, all right, I'll hang out with your brother. So S's brother and his lady friend are chilling on his bed. Not S's bed, S's brother's bed. He's chilling on his own bed. This sounds weird. Anyways, I'm still playing games, not a fucking care in the world. I'm talking to S's brother a little bit. I'm having a good time, just conversating, having a good time. Fucking voice crack, holy shit. So yeah, I'm having a great time and I'm playing Xbox and I hear some noises behind me. And so I'm like, I look behind me and they're both in bed together, just like sitting beside each other, you know what I'm saying? And so I ain't think nothing of it. This was after I had seen the porn, but it wasn't, I didn't really think much of it, right? I wasn't thinking that they were going to do anything, So I'm just continue playing my games. And so then I hear more noise behind me. I think now I know that they were just kissing at that moment. It was just fucking, little pecks and shit. I don't give a fuck. I hate talking about this shit. Anyways, yeah, I'm playing Xbox trying to block this shit out. And next thing I know, they're getting it on behind me. And I'm trying to have no part in this shit. And, I wanted so badly to just get up and walk away. But to get up and walk away, that means I would have had to at least took a peek at them. Not like because I'm a fucking creep and I want to peek on my bro. It would just be in my point of view when I get up to leave. It would just be in my view, right? The couch was literally in front of his bed and I was back to him. So if I got up and I had to turn left to go to the stairs, he's going to be in my like FOV, my point of view. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I'm sitting there and I'm playing games and I'm trying so hard to block it out, right? And the TV volume was turned down because I didn't want to disturb anybody playing games. And I turned that shit up. I started to turn that shit up, and they must have started to notice because they started to get a little bit quieter. They started getting a little more quiet, you know. And I'm just playing my game. I'm still just playing my game. You know, I don't know how many times I'm going to fucking say that in the story, but I'm literally just playing my game. And finally, after like fucking 7 games of Fortnite and like fucking 3 matches of Warzone, they're like, one of them says my name. I think it was S's brother says my name. I already talked to the girl. I said hello, whatever. But I think it was S's brother that called my name. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, you want to go grab something from upstairs? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went upstairs and I took that opportunity to dip the fuck out. I did not want to stay any longer. And I think that's kind of what he was pointing to when he said that. But yeah, I just dipped the fuck out after that because I wanted no part. I wanted no part within this fucking little shit, weird shit. Anyways, there is one last story. This video is kind of dragging on, but this is the last story of all of them. Holy fucking voice cracks. I'm going to have like 7 more, don't worry. Anyways, this last story is fucking gay as hell, and I wish it never happened. I wish this night never happened, but let's just get right into it. So, me, S, and what should I give this guy? We're just going to call him the gay one. So, me, S, and the gay one, we're all planning to have a sleepover at S's dad's house. Now, the gay one, he didn't tell us he was gay until later. Now we know that he's gay. I think he's like trans or something now. I don't know. That's beyond what I got to think of. Anyways, this guy wanted to have a sleepover with us, and he said he would bring his VR. And so me and S both looked at each other and we're like, fuck yeah, we want to play some damn fucking VR. So we're playing VR in this sleepover, having a great ass time, and just chilling, right? And so it was my turn to go onto the VR, and this gay guy, the gay one, he came up to me and pants me. This guy pants me, and I was like, okay, whatever, haha, funny. But it was just pants, no underwear, right? So I'm like, yo, do that shit again and I'll square up, right? No, I didn't. I was a little bitch when I was young. I probably told him like, ew, stop. Anyways, I'm playing VR again. I'm playing Beat Saber. You know how locked in you get in Beat Saber. And this guy pantses me again. But this time it was underwear and pants. And they seen everything. And so S is like, yo, that's messed up, bro. But the gay one, yo, he took that opportunity. And he was like, yo, he's kind of feeling me up a little bit. And I was like, all right, bro, that's gay as hell. Walk away from me right now. And so, yo, he listened and whatever. And so then the night came to an end. And this guy is like creeping around at night. He's like, I'm trying to sleep. So the way that we were sleeping, all 3 of us were sleeping on the couch because he had a big ass couch in his basement and it had like a hide-a-bed. So we're all laid out on the couch. But this guy kept getting up and like going to the washroom or getting up and just like, you know, walking around and shit. This guy was not sleeping one bit, right? And so I'm trying to fucking fall asleep because I'm not no night owl. I like to go to bed early because I'm an old fucking man, all right? And so S is like telling him, yo, you need to be quiet. You need to go to bed, yada, yada. And after that, this guy kind of went to bed. So that's pretty much it. But he was being a fucking creep and a weirdo, and fuck him. Anyways, that's pretty much this whole story time. I'll have a better one soon, and also, I'm sorry I haven't been uploading because I've just been busy with life, bro. Life is getting busy, so just have some sympathy on me. I'll have more videos out soon, ASAP, but yeah, just bear with me, all right? You guys have a great day. Thank you for watching.